Hell in a Cell has become a battlefield. So much blood, sweat, and tears shed tonight. It's going to be red hot, just like that cell was tonight. Stay tuned. We're breaking it down only here on AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
The Dream Team is back for yet another pay-per-view. I'm your host, Gabrielle Loren, joined by none other than George Hermoza to my left, and to my right, Evan T. Mack. How are you guys doing tonight?
What up, girlfriend?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Did you enjoy the pay-per-view?
Yeah, I had a blast, you know what I mean? Shout out to George Hermoza over there. What up, boy?
What's up? How are you?
Having
George.
red vines this
I
evening.
always have a good time with Evan on a
I'm
panel.
blessed. You're my guy, man.
Dude.
Of course, who doesn't have a good time with Evan? He's just a blast in a glass.
I think more than a bigger glass.
Yeah, a big glass.
I like one of those Slurpee cups.
Besides our differences with red vines versus Twizzlers, man, it is always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Ditto.
You're doing good? Did you enjoy the pay-per-view?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not your favorite of the year?
It wasn't that. You don't seem to
I always have my thoughts about this specific pay-per-view, which we'll get into. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think for what it was, I think it was good.
And what did you think, Evan, about the red cell tonight? That was a little different.
It was interesting. Yeah, I like change. You know, I'm not against change. You know, it popped. You know what I mean? Like the only thing I always get offended by is like being live and it's hard to see in the cage.
Yeah,
I'm looking
kinda
at
curious.
the monitor, so I want to know how the fans think. Shout out to anybody in the chat that might see anybody that noticed like how their viewpoint was. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of hard to
Right.
see in the cage.
See, I liked the color of it. It really
Yeah.
popped. But the problem is when you're looking at it from a camera outside of the cell,
Yes.
it gets a little distorted and your eyes are kind of like, what's going on? Did you feel the same way, George?
A little bit. When they had that kind of wide shot where you saw everything,
Yeah.
it was kind of a little like, I don't know, your mind playing tricks on you.
That's what I thought.
Right. And so it seems like we've added at least 3 additional pay-per-views this year to the WWE shows. It's a lot. We're constantly here in the studio covering them. Do you guys feel like Hell in a Cell is necessary?
I mean, it kind of goes into what I think as far as like every year you have those like pay-per-views where it's like you have to have Hell in a Cell, TLC, where it's like by just mandatory where you have to have these pay-per-views, which means you can't have a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view without at least 1 or 2 Hell in a Cell matches, which means there might be a match or two where it's like, does that match really need the cell? Remember back in the day when it was like, all right, Undertaker Shawn needed the cell, Undertaker Mankind needed the cell, you know, Foley and Triple H needed the cell, where it's like, I think Roman and Braun was pretty good as far as like, because they've had a lot of other matches, ambulance matches. I think they had like a last man standing matches. Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton, I think, as well. And I mean, I don't think the match needed. I don't think the build-up needed to sell.
Right.
But I thought the match itself was like okay.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was kind of disturbing to watch at some points.
Yeah, they tore it down.
But yeah, I just kind of wish that there were some of these matches had more of a build-up that made the cell itself make sense.
Yeah,
As
that
part
makes
of the
sense.
stipulation.
And I mean, we've only really used the cell twice tonight.
Yeah.
Technically, 2 matches.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's so. What do you think though? Should there be that pay per view though? What would you do? Would you do away with it as a whole,
Yeah.
or would you just
Yeah.
make another pay per view? So you're just done.
Yeah,
Done with Hell in a Cell.
especially because like every now and then they have it for Mania. They had it for Shane versus Taker. I think they had it for one more since then. But it just like I don't know. I just feel like for example, Taker Shane was more special
Right.
because it was like, well, they didn't have to have the match. It was like, all right, we're gonna have it in a cell, as opposed to like, all right, Hell in a Cell's coming up. What match can we put in the cell? You know, it's like I don't know. I feel like they're forced to do it because of the name of the pay per view.
And remind me what pay-per-view it was where Jinder Mahal was in the Punjabi prison. Which one was that? Was that
I think it
Hell
was
in a Cell?
Battleground.
That sounds
Battleground.
about right.
So it was kind of like a Hell in a Cell in a way.
Yeah.
It was its own
A
Punjabi
little bit,
prison. Anyways, I thought it was a good pay-per-view, not my favorite pay-per-view. There's things I would have done differently. We only saw 1 title change tonight.
True.
But I mean, overall, it was a fun event to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessary to have all these pay-per-views because I feel like right now we're being oversaturated.
There's a lot of wrestling going on.
Yeah, and we have 2 more, coming up with Australia and Evolution. So
Gracious.
and even some rematches that are going to Australia, as we heard tonight. So it's going to be interesting. But speaking about, to your point, George, the Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman match, since that was the main event, we do things a little out of order here, you guys. But we want to talk about the best first, or at least the biggest event first. We saw a surprise tonight. Special guest Brock Lesnar came out. Now, most of us didn't expect that. I don't know if there were rumors that he was going to be there, but essentially,
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, once he gave up his title, I think everyone just thought that he was going to UFC. So what did you guys think about him returning tonight?
I thought it was a fun surprise. Obviously, everybody thought that he was done for like a few months, maybe until after his fight with Daniel Cormier.
Oh my god!
So the fact that he was there was like, oh, nice. Like this is kind of cool. I'm not gonna I thought the match itself was kind of whack, to be honest with you. it wasn't. No, it's just because like. Again,
what's your what is your thing? What's your biggest takeaway from that kind of stuff? Like, why do you think that match feels stale at times?
Because it was like you take away the sell, and it would have the same impact that match would have had. It wasn't until I think when Ambrose and Rollins and McIntyre and Ziggler showed up where I was like, all right, now it's getting good. You know, you got to top of the cage. That's where it's like, all right, cool, the cell match. But before they interfered, it was just like another match. It could have been like a steel cage match. It could have been, you know, a no holds barred match or whatever. It's like, I don't know. I don't think there was anything building up to that specific interference where it was like, well, yeah, this needed to be in the cell. Like I never thought that until the interference came along.
But you're a Roman guy though, so you
I like Roman, yeah.
Yeah, so how do you feel? You feel like he did tonight as far as being, being in a cell with Braun, making that match like believable, passable, like holding his own against
compared to his other matches with Braun, I thought that match was whack.
Wow.
Because some of those other matches were just like, even I remember I think it was like Fastlane of last year,
crazy,
where it had like Braun Strowman coming off the top rope with like, and he missed like an elbow.
That was
but
awesome.
Just that visual of like a 6'8" guy coming off the top rope, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, that didn't need the cage, but I remember that. I remember Roman going for a spear and missing into the ambulance. I remember that. I don't think there's anything pre-interference, pre-Brock that's going to make me memorable about this match.
Evan, did you like the match?
Yeah, it was pretty good as far as like when Brock coming out just like, it's like defecating everywhere. It's always good to me. I'm all about kicking the cell door open, throwing ragdoll in people, like screaming. I'm like, Lord have mercy. All right, bro. This is why we like you here. So you understand. This is why we like you. We love you when you just beat up people and walk away. Right. So it was good to see him because the last time we seen him, he was in bad shape. So it was good to see him come out, kick ass, take names, and then just leave. You know what I mean? Right. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, Brock Lesnar definitely took it up a notch tonight. Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed him coming out. Do you guys agree with the fact that, all the fans are now loving the match since Brock came out? Or do you feel like the only reason this match was really having a chance at anything was because of Brock?
Yeah, it's crazy because I know what you're saying, like, the Twitter sphere, and then face chat and snap time and all that other stuff, man. They were on.
They all joined together.
They all joined together, they joined forces, and they hate everything. You know what I mean? So, so I think they do that because they know they're going to get trolled. This match is going to get trolled. I think they bring out somebody or something because they don't even want to hear it. As much as they act like they don't listen, they listen. There's somebody on that social media be like, okay, all right. All right, this is bothering people. Let's just let's bring Brock out. Well, I thought it was kind of cool.
Something that might have bothered people was the fact that this match was no contest.
Gross.
Do you feel like there should be a winner for these types of matches?
When they put like the credits thing at the bottom, I was like, what's the lower third? I kid you not. I was like, is it over? I said, this is not. I was looking at my clock. It wasn't even 8. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
And especially more so because it's like it's a Money in the Bank cash in. Now it's a failed cash in.
So mad.
It's not like Braun. I'm sure Braun was out. Kayfabe speaking, he was out. But I'm sure like he didn't appreciate. Well, you just messed up my Money in the Bank. It's not like I can get an automatic rematch.
Absolutely not.
This was my cash in. So and I mentioned pre-show where it's like you had the ref who literally got thrown off a cage and thrown through a cage, still be able to finish through thumbtacked and still was able to finish the match. Yeah, you got Mick Foley. And then you have a guy, Brock Lesnar. Granted, it's Brock Lesnar, beat him up with the table scraps in F5. So it's like, so what? That's going to end up as a non-finish, but Mick Foley getting thrown off and through the cage is going to, match continues. The guy's practically dead in there. Oh, you know what? Continue the match.
I got a question. Do you think they knew they were going to do this with Braun? Because it's a waste of Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? Because if you're trying to tell me like Braun could always get the title because he's Braun, like why give him the Money in the Bank then? Why not give that to another wrestler? Like, like a Big E or like somebody else. Like, if you're going to take it, do you think they knew they were going to take it from him all along, or do you think it just came up?
I think that's a really good question. That's a really, really good question.
About that one. I think that there's a reason behind it. There's a storyline here that they want to continue with, and we have pay-per-views coming up like Australia, so they're clearly taking a lot of these matches from tonight and pushing it.
So like taking away the Money in the Bank, so there's no like, is he going to cash in? Like, so the cash in's over,
right?
And that's like all the intrigue's gone with that.
But they have to continue this story because there's no finale.
No,
there was no conclusion. So I think they're gonna, because it was no contest. I think they're going to put this into Australia's pay-per-view and figure out another way to work around it where maybe there's another title opportunity. Hopefully not a no contest.
Is it going to be a triple threat with Brock?
In Australia? Maybe. They don't need to sell that one. That's going to sell out. Them Aussies just, they're hungry, man.
It's like 90,000 people.
They're hungry for a WWE event. My Aussies down there are hungry.
I think it's possible for a triple threat, but at the same time, Brock doesn't need to get involved again. I think he did his part by making it a no contest.
Because we clearly see like anything now. Because honestly, I was hooked. I fell for it. I thought Brock wasn't going to show up until January, February, maybe even May.
Me too.
You know? I was like, all right, wait, what? He's what? You know. So the fact that like you get that, and I was like, oh well, maybe he isn't going to go to UFC. Maybe that was a scam. You know, maybe that was the conspiracy. You know.
So keeping with that, do you see him in a title picture again though? Like, or
he gets a rematch. He still has to get a rematch.
Like winning a title. Like, do you think
I
his
hope
run?
not, dude. I hope he doesn't win the title. I like the title being on the line. You know,
and then it just goes away again for like 7 months.
Yeah.
Well, there was another match tonight that also had a controversial ending.
Oh.
And I'm sure we all know what that one is. It was AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship for the SmackDown roster. What did you guys think about this? It was a little bit shocking, the events that played out.
Oh man. Yeah, I feel like this. Those guys burn it down, man. They've been doing it for years. This is the kind of stuff that I like to see. This is my favorite match of the night. Not the best match of the night, my favorite match of the night. I like the creativity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like, if you want to keep the title on there, listen, they've already like eradicated the CM Punk thing. That was, I got it. We get it now. It's over now. So like to come up with a way, an innovative way for him to like not win the title, I thought it was cool because he has like a beef now and he can complain. It keeps this saga going. I don't know what you think, George, but how do you think about how you like the finish?
I mean, the fact that it was a finish, but also like it continue, it makes both guys look strong. And we've seen it before with Undertaker, Kurt Angle, No Way Out 2006, where you had Kurt Angle and like a triangle, but still ended up pinning Undertaker at the same time, where things aren't actually hitting tap. But then we had like Undertaker Brock. Remember when Taker tapped, but then the ref didn't see it, and Brock tapped out. Yeah. But I like this. It's kind of like it. I mean, I know AJ had like a post match interview online that I haven't seen yet. Yeah. I kind of want to see what it's because you saw Joe was pissed, and obviously it set up the Australia show. But I like that it keeps Joe strong because at the end of the day, he does have a legitimate case that he made AJ tap out before the count of 3. So I like that it kind of kept it going, and it there was no shenanigans, there was no non-clean way, and just the fact that both guys still looked insanely strong after this makes me look forward to their Australia matchup.
Does Joe get? Does AJ get through this, George? Does he get through this with like conquering Samoa, or does Samoa get the title?
A part of me wants AJ to like beat now Brock's record, I guess you can say, of the modern day champion. But man, like it'd be awesome to see Joe, man. Like Joe is the 51st WWE champion. Like here's a guy 10, 12 years ago, Gabby, and I'm sure you're aware of this too, where like he sent feelers to WWE. Mick Foley was trying to get him into WWE, but obviously different time then where it's like, oh, he doesn't have the body type. Samoa Joe, he's going to be better in TNA. Where it's like now it's like, dude, now he's the WWE champion. Like I think that itself is a story where it's like I want to see, but it's like, but either way, it's win-win.
Yes.
You're going to see AJ hopefully be like a 500-day champion, or you're going to see a badass guy like Samoa Joe be champion that's going to be even more awesome.
That's a win-win.
And especially him as a heel, like you may see against him versus Bryan for the belt.
Wow.
And maybe it's a rematch with him and AJ, and just I think there's a lot of good, cool possibilities.
So I haven't seen this interview that AJ did post-match, but, SmackDown's coming up on Tuesday. Do you guys feel that on Tuesday AJ will admit to having unfairly defeated Samoa Joe, or will he deny that he ever was, in the wrong for winning?
I think he might just kind of be like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you lost, I'm still the champion. It's the house that AJ Styles built. Yada yada yada, so on and so forth. But I think what's so crazy, I don't know, it's hard to believe this, but I think we're gonna get even more aggressive Samoa Joe on Tuesday, which is crazy to me because he has been in a groove, man. I'm telling you right now, WWE, like y'all missed the boat on that. Don't tell me he wasn't ready. That dude is on another level, man. Like he's staking his claim as one of the best wrestlers on the roster. In the last 10 years, it's unbelievable. people. So I think we could get a more aggressive Samoa Joe, especially if AJ comes out and doesn't admit he was like he lost.
Did anybody like have Wendy's at all and all that time where he was calling out Wendy? I'm like, ooh, Wendy sounds pretty good right now. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that worked for you.
We
Clearly.
all know Wendy's got a bomb ass Twitter.
Wendy's plays
Wendy's Twitter, dude.
They roast everyone. Listen, if y'all not ever seen Wendy's Twitter, go on Wendy's Twitter. They roast every fast food company.
Yeah. But whoever runs it is like a big wrestling fan too.
It's so good.
They make all these wrestling references too.
They cut promos on everybody.
That's funny. Not to get too detailed about Wendy's, but do they still make Frosties?
Yes, they do. They got a 50-cent small Frosty right now.
Dip some fries in the Frosties. Seriously, dip some fries in the Frosty. Do it. You're
I'm
welcome.
not okay with
You're
it.
Gabs, you gotta try that.
Dude.
No,
I want to know what the chat
way
thinks.
off track. Yo, chat
French
roll.
fries in a milkshake or a Frosty?
Talk about it, chat roll.
Yeah, let us know.
Gabs, you gotta treat yourself.
Look at that. First we
Listen.
did where's the Red Vine Twizzler? Hell yeah, dude.
We're on the same
I'm glad we
page.
agree with fries in a milkshake.
Yo,
I'm
Come
more of
on.
an In-N-Out girl, but
You
now
can do that too.
we're-
You can dip those fries in the milkshake too.
No, I'm not down with that.
off the
Neapolitan shake.
rails. Gab, you gotta do not knock it till you try it. A little dip, a little salt, a little sweet.
Well, there's certain things I would never do. That's one of them. And another thing is get in the ring with Ronda Rousey.
Oh no.
Ronda Rousey had a match tonight with Alexa Bliss for the championship, and I just want to know what you guys think about Ronda being matched up with Alexa Bliss in the first place.
I've gone on record. I don't know if I was too into detail about their SummerSlam match, but I hated that match. I was not a fan of that match at all. Like looking back, I think covering right after the show, I was like, I was okay, but looking back, I hated that match. And this is coming from a big Alexa. Everybody knows how much I think highly of Alexa Bliss.
I love Bliss and Rousey, but the thing about it is I just didn't like how as great as Alexa's run was.
Yeah.
And the people she's beat with her intelligence, like they made her cower in the ring. They made her
but she's a champion. And then Stephanie McMahon gave Ronda a better challenge than the Raw Women's Champion who's on her 5th title reign.
I was not happy about that. They made Alexa Bliss look so weak.
So I was hoping that this match was going to be a complete redemption of that match, and I think it absolutely was. Yes. I think this was the match that should have been at SummerSlam.
Absolutely.
I think this was the more back and forth, Alexa being Alexa. She's a heel, she's conniving, but she's also really smart, using her intelligence. Right. She's a champion and really finding ways to weaken Ronda. And I think this match is far above better than their SummerSlam match.
100%.
And I know it's a little bit off topic, but can we just talk about Alicia Fox and her outfit on the side of the ring and what she's been doing on Raw lately?
You still trying to steal Christian's closet? Listen, shout out to Gabby's closet.
Walk-in closet, get it right. But no, she reminds me of Beyonce,
Yeah,
or Rihanna. I feel like she should be a music artist. What is she doing on the side of the WWE ring?
She has upped her outfit game, and that's for damn sure.
Yeah, I just had to bring that up because, girl, you are killing it. I don't know who that designer is, but good job. Crazy.
Side note, sure.
So what do you guys? Yeah,
that was a girl. Listen, that's when the men were like,
yeah,
yep.
It's really intense.
But we'll be like, AJ Styles, his gear was on fire.
Yeah, we're gonna do man was jacked today, man. He was ripped.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, Dolph Ziggler talking about outfits. His pants tonight had Beverly Hills on that. Did you see it?
Yeah. He's had that for a while though.
Has he?
Yeah.
I guess I never read what was on there.
You weren't looking at those butts?
But who exactly is the city of Beverly Hills representing him or endorsing him?
He's representing.
That's great. Good for you.
Hills. That's my guy.
Best city in Los Angeles.
That's my guy.
I don't know, man. Van Nuys is pretty up there.
Van Nuys?
Yeah.
I don't know how many people
Over
would agree with you on that.
You never seen that Van Nuys tourism video?
That's pretty good. Beverly Boulevard is lit though. Beverly, man.
You guys, most people are probably listening right now and they're like, what is Van Nuys? Never heard of Van Nuys.
Listen,
it's okay.
Listen, the chat roll's all about that Frosty fry thing.
Oh, are they?
Gabby, what's up? What's up?
All right. Well, we'll just have to hear from you guys if you like it.
What's up?
Well, I mean, I did like the Ronda Rousey Alexa Bliss match tonight. I really love these two fierce women's personalities in the ring. You have your top UFC person who just got signed, who's now going against one of the top wrestlers and personalities in WWE. Absolutely. So I'm never going to shy away from something like that. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is next for Ronda? We'll start with you, George.
That's tough because it's like she beat Alexa. I mean, maybe Nia Jax now that Ronda's champion. I know I heard rumors about Nia coming back sometime soon. I'd like to see her and Mickey go down. Mickey, I think she's so experienced. I think she can give Ronda an amazing match.
I'm not sure how I feel about Mickey, but I could totally see Nia Jax, especially right now. She's getting a lot of really good heat outside of the ring too.
Yeah.
She's being nominated for awards. I think People's Choice Awards.
Yeah.
So she's doing a really good job. What about you?
Especially the match they had, her and Ronda. That had, you know what I mean? It was a really good match. And it's one of those things where if it's not Nia, I know everyone's trying to rush to like the Baszler thing and try to make that happen sooner than it's supposed to happen. I think she still has a little more time for that. I don't know the build yet. The Nia Jax thing could be cool. The Mickey James thing could be cool if they build it right.
Although I do kind of have a little bit of complaint is that like you have Stephanie McMahon, right? She's always on the phone with, I guess not Constable Corbin, but now he's like acting general manager Corbin. You know, he's getting rid of Kurt Angle, giving him a vacation, maybe even like, you know, kicking the Shield out of the building. Dude, why doesn't she give like more like, I guess the opposite, more hate toward Ronda. Ronda like broke her arm a couple times.
That's always to me a problem when they do that.
But it's like, why don't they try to stack the odds against Ronda?
Or at least make her life a living hell.
Don't just ignore the fact that like she's not on TV. I mean, kayfabe reason. Like she's not on TV because of you, dude.
Because I think a cool idea, because she's like so polarizing and she's so dominant. They should do like a gauntlet match, like make it like it's a punishing thing, but it could put her over and give more women a chance to wrestle. Like we're gonna run a gauntlet tonight. You gotta fight this person, this person, this person, this person, this person.
But I heard the rumors. What, Nikki Bella?
Against Ronda?
Yeah.
I think for Evolution, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't even know if that's a rumor anymore. I feel like that's confirmed.
It'll draw. What's what?
Let us know.
Listen. I will say Nikki Bella. I think Nikki Bella has done as much for women's evolution than Charlotte, Becky, Bayley, Sasha. Like I think she. Wait, what? What do you mean?
I'm gonna say. My shake was not because I necessarily disagree, but I think a lot of people out there in the WWE universe would disagree with that
they're going to disagree with a lot of stuff anyways, though.
They're wrong about that, though.
It's because they're haters on reality TV. And listen, Nikki did more work, I think. I mean, she's great in the ring, but she did a lot of work outside of the ring, bringing attention to the women's evolution. Yeah. So that's where I can praise her for what she's done. But a lot of people hate on that because they're not into that whole scene and they only focus on what's going on in the ring.
Bringing more...
And especially more like that tag match with, I know Brie had a couple botches, but like Nikki looked good in that match. Nikki looked really, really good in that match.
But bringing casual eyes to wrestling is a job, guys. Like, a lot of people don't know, like bringing that person that's... I didn't think I wanted to watch wrestling, and then they see Total Bellas, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And then they start watching wrestling. That's what it's about, being an ambassador, like on and off the court, or on and off the ring.
That is true. I don't think most people actually realize that.
She's box office. First ballot Hall of Famer, Nikki and Brie Bella, by the way.
And then not only that, but even when she's taking time off from the ring in her matches, she's still doing WWE work. She's at all the appearances. She's at most of the shows. And she's doing stuff for YouTube in partnership with WWE.
And she always had WWE there. Because remember when Eva Marie, like when she was there, and like, you would look at her Instagram and you would never thought that she was a wrestler.
No question.
And it's like, dude,
it's because she was literally only focused on her own business. Yeah, that's why.
But it's like, dude, don't forget why you even have that many. I mean, you're hot. Don't get me wrong, but like, don't forget why you have such a following, because you got that exposure on Total Divas and WWE.
Talk.
Yeah. Well, two other fierce women who had a championship match tonight was Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch from SmackDown. What did you think of this match, Evan?
I loved it because, Becky's she's in a groove right now. She's in the best shape of her life. She's the best I've seen her on a mic in a while. The heel turn is always great though when it's unexpected. I like, and she won the damn title. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of heel turn,
the biggest takeaway, like, my goodness, she won. Like, I think part of people were thinking like it's gonna be a hard fought battle, and then Charlotte's gonna pull it off. Like, I watched the crowd reaction. They're kind of like, okay, like, and she won, and they kind of were like, all right, and they started chanting Becky. So, but the match was good. Like, I think Becky, like I said, she's somehow better at wrestling now. She's better than she was before. Charlotte always put together a good match. Unfortunately, this is like a setup where I swear they're like trying to get her to 16 titles like her dad. It's like they're like trying to do that because goodness gracious, she already lost. She's about to win it again probably in like a month. You know what I mean? It's like good Lord, she's like 18 titles already. It's like, George, what you saying over there? I know you don't got a little. What's going on? What's your thoughts on Charlotte Flair?
No. So here's it's not so much. That's not so much what happened. I just think it's more. I do want to hear what you guys have to think, or where it's like, all right. In the past month, everybody's been upset. Like, oh, what is Becky doing? She shouldn't be turning heel. She's a babyface. She's legit. She's whatever, But like, I look at the reaction of this match and how the crowd was and how I thought this match was amazing.
I did too.
Is that? Are they really booking it incorrectly? Because you get that reaction, and it's like almost as if like if you give the fans what they want, they're not going to want it anymore. I feel like maybe sometimes I don't feel like they always do it on purpose, but I feel like maybe sometimes you get like an accident and it's like, all right, I kind of see what we're gonna do now.
Yeah.
Like the whole Daniel Bryan thing, you know? Like that was unintentional,
Because,
but obviously they went, you know.
Because it was like Batista. Like Batista was gonna have his nice run.
Yeah.
You know? Even though Batista he didn't want to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
Like he just wanted to be in like the title match. And then all of a sudden Daniel Bryan caught steam and it worked out. You know, so I know what you're saying, but like, because if the fans react this way, did they book it wrong?
Yeah, because I thought the crowd was so hot for this match. I was like, they were back and forth, and even more so like giving love for Becky. It's like, yo, they need to keep booking Becky exactly the same way. If this is the reaction she's gonna get, and especially when she got that pop for the title win, it's like, yo, like they're doing something right.
Yes.
You know, so I absolutely loved everything about this match. Again, I just think it was funny how like people were complaining how the booking of the match or booking of each character was, but it's like, are they really doing it incorrectly if this is the reaction that they're getting?
What do you think, Gabs?
With WWE's audience and fans in the corner of Becky Lynch, do you guys believe that Becky Lynch is going to be a heel forever, or will she be turned back face soon?
I don't think she's a heel.
So you don't believe she's ever turned heel?
They didn't change their music anymore.
No, I think after SummerSlam, I think they were like, all right, we're gonna turn her heel, right? And then she's gonna turn, and then they saw the reaction. They were like, I think they indirectly said we're gonna keep doing the same thing, knowing that it's gonna even get a bigger reaction of the crowd. That, you know, so think, how am I trying to say it? It's like Austin, where it's like he kept doing heel things.
Right,
He never officially turned babyface. He just kept doing the same thing over and over again. Where it's like, and the crowd kept getting louder and louder and louder.
Where Ziggy was supposed to be a heel, but like he was never being face. He was just Ziggy's still doing the same thing. His damn like the Twitter thing is like heel Ziggler. You know what I mean? Like, but he was getting so much pop. They're like, he's a babyface. And I'm like, never really was though.
Yeah,
like never was. Like he's like a true heel now.
And so like, and even like Becky, like she never went out there and healed the fans.
It's true.
You know, she just kind of, hey, like, and I like it too, because like it's about the belt. Like they made the belt important. They made the championship because it is about the championship. It's like, yes, we're friends, but you know what? When it comes to the championship, all our friendship's pretty much done.
That's
and
a fair point.
I like that. I like the fact that they made it about the title. And again, I think they tried it with Becky, but they were like, let's just see how it goes.
But
like,
you would agree was like a heel act when she like beat the brakes off of Charlotte though for like an hour.
Yeah,
that was like a heel act.
I mean, it's like I feel like that's what their intention was, but it was like, but after like 10 seconds, you were like, I kind of see why she's beating up Charlotte. I kind of get it. I get it, Becky.
Is it almost comparable to Braun Strowman's character, where he wasn't necessarily always considered a heel until recently, but he did things like beat up Kevin Owens in a porta potty and all kinds of other stuff, where he almost seemed heel-ish, but was still a babyface.
It's interesting.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I liked it. I thought it was a great match, great booking. I love Becky Lynch. I predicted that she was going to get this title, and I'm happy she did.
Me too.
And I hope she retains for a very long time, because we've already seen Charlotte Flair do this. We don't need to see her any longer. Mm-hmm. So congratulations, Becky. And I wouldn't be opposed if she stayed heel for a little bit and then went back to babyface. Because I think she turned heel. Just saying. Especially when she beat her up on SmackDown on Tuesday.
Oh, God, yeah. I was like,
From the audience in a wig.
Like, Becky,
I mean, come on.
Becky, that's heel all day right there.
That is heel all day. She went out of character, too.
But what, I mean, if you're a heel, but you have everybody cheering you, are you still a
That's
heel?
the thing.
Or now are the audience turning heel?
That's the thing. I don't know, man,
Uh-huh.
because that's crazy. You're right, though, because like when you're so over, they're supposed to boo you.
Yeah. That's like Roman. It's like all these people are like, I hate Roman because he's going to be a bad guy, so I'm going to boo him. Okay, so he's already heel in your mind.
Like I said before, man, the Roman booing thing is just getting ridiculous now. Like I said before, the whole thing was seen. It was cute to begin with. But like when he starts putting together a couple good matches and stuff like that, like I lighten up on Roman.
Mm-hmm.
He took his lumps, right? He lost like a wide. Like leave Roman alone. Leave that poor Samoan alone.
I mean, I brought this up on SmackDown before. I think they're reacting the way they are and supporting Becky because Charlotte did something not necessarily evil, but she wasn't being a good friend. She overstepped her place, crossed boundaries, took an opportunity away from Becky, and hurt Becky as a friend. So Becky is not feeling good, and Becky wanted to get this championship. She's worked hard for it. She deserved it. So I don't think her actions are necessarily, or at least in the beginning, were totally heel-like. They were just justifiable. Yeah. And I think that's why the WWE Universe is still on her side, because they're justifiable heel actions.
Yeah, do you also think it's because like it's literally a real feeling, like they're like kind of just like They want Becky to win. You know what I mean? You think it's like kind of a combination of that? Like
I think
it's Becky Lynch.
I don't.
You know?
I don't want to get too. What's the word I'm looking for? Like I don't want to speak for anyone.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've all been there with Becky.
Yeah.
You know, where we had that friend that kind of like I don't want to say is better than in any way, but just kind of like that gets all those opportunities that we should be getting. And I don't mean because Becky puts in the work.
Tell it like it is, George.
Becky it's not like Becky doesn't put in the work. Now you have Charlotte, you know, with nepotism and, you know, being a Flair and being the having the pedigree and all that. And it's like I think in some ways we all kind of have that friend, even if we don't even know it. Even if we don't even know it. So I feel like we all can relate to Becky the same way we related to Bryan, the same way we related to Austin.
That's what I think a part of it is.
Yeah. So I think that's why in some ways, as much as we may think that Becky's a heel, I think it's more not so much a face heel. It's just more we relate to her because we've been there.
And I think the best way to describe it with one word would be the underdog.
Yeah.
So essentially, she is the underdog, just like Daniel Bryan was, and people want her to come out on top. And she did tonight. So good job, Becky Lynch. We also saw tonight the Total Bellas team versus Miz and Mrs.
You watch Miz and Mrs.?
Yeah, of course I do.
It's a fun show.
It's so
It's
fun,
well done. They do a good job.
It makes me love Miz and Maurice even more.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Marjo?
Yeah, actually, I think she's really funny. I think she's a character, that's for sure.
I like
you?
that. I like that it's not an hour long too. I think it's like short.
Yeah,
it's short
it goes
and
by
sweet.
so fast.
Yeah, short and sweet, and
And it keeps you wanting more
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
It's a good idea.
Do you like Marjo, George?
I'm a big fan of Marjo. I wish I could have been one of those cowboys that were dancing for her.
Seriously.
Would you take Marjo out on a date?
I
if
would
you met
take
her?
Marjo out on 2 dates.
Oh, I love that.
Shout out to Marjo.
Yeah.
So you date the Cougars then, huh? He's just laughing. I didn't even get a
He
response.
laughed it off.
That means he does date Cougars. Just FYI for anyone wondering.
Oh, God.
Well, this match was really interesting. We get to see, the two different reality star teams play out against each other. It's funny because back in the day, you would see couples, especially husbands and wives, kind of being destroyed on WWE storyline. And today, they're actually keeping them together for the better. So I'm loving it. I'm a fan of Total Divas and Miz and Maurice. So I thought it was a great match, playing on both sides. We saw the men, though, doing most of the legwork. Yeah. But some good character work from both Brie and Maurice.
Shout out to Maurice though, because she had a kid 5 months ago, and she's already back in there.
Fit as a fiddle.
Like
both
Jesus,
of them,
man.
these girls. I mean, honestly,
Put in work, man.
losing that baby weight must be so difficult. Just because it's a whole lifestyle change, and I mean, they still have babies at home at the end of the day. So the fact that they're able to get back.
Some women can't even lose that hamburger, that hamburger weight, that fries and that fries and milkshake weight,
Yeah, that fries.
That Wendy's Frosty.
Yeah, that Wendy's Frosty.
Just saying.
But shout out to any woman that does any of that stuff. But I'm a really big fan of this feud. I like this feud a little bit better than the Cena Nikki. Even though I like that whole Total Bella
like the promos cuts were amazing.
Yeah, those were good. I wish that this had a little bit more of that.
Because they were awesome.
Yeah.
Trolling Cena and stuff like that was awesome.
Yeah, so I kind of wish they had a little bit more of that. I mean, we saw a little bit more fire from promos, for SummerSlam, building up for SummerSlam.
Right.
I feel like we didn't see as much, maybe just because there was only, 3 weeks between the last build-up. Yeah, so for what it was, I was a big fan of this match. I liked it. I think on the last after show for SummerSlam, I said that I don't think Bryan should beat Miz anytime soon. I think it should build up maybe for a big win, maybe even for the championship at some point down the road. So I think completely the right team won tonight.
Go ahead.
So you actually felt that Miz and Maurice were going to come out on top before you found out?
I couldn't have predicted it. I just feel like it was the right decision. It would have been the right decision. I think it was the right decision, the fact that Miz and Maurice won. Especially because, you can't have them always lose. I don't think they should have beat Cena. I don't think they should have lost to Cena and Nikki at WrestleMania. But clearly that was all set up for the proposal. But I like the fact that now you have Miz and Maurice kind of at least getting a win together.
Yeah. Well, not only the proposal, but I feel like whoever is technically doing the most at WWE at the time is going to get the win, especially when it comes to all these outside business ventures. So
That
right
makes
now,
sense. To keep them on TV more.
And have a storyline when it comes to the TV show. And I feel because Miz and Maurice, their show is being promoted so hardcore right now, especially on SmackDown, they're going to get the win, no matter what. I already predicted that from the get-go. What about you, Evan?
But it's interesting though, because it's one of those things where I like what you're saying, George. It's like the thorn in like Daniel Bryan's side. It'd be good if he just keeps bugging him. He's been sticking in his craw since even when he was injured, and he's on Talking Smack, and he would just keep driving that knife into him. So it's good that he keeps losing. So this big payoff, whether it's Survivor Series, whether it's WrestleMania, and I think it'd be really good if he really gets over that hump, because it's good to keep Daniel Bryan kind of low in a feud, because you're like, okay, why is he not in the title picture? Oh, because he's still dealing with Miz.
Yeah.
And I would love those guys getting the title shot though. That's me thinking way outside though.
Because I always thought that too. I thought, months ago before Money in the Bank, I thought Miz wins Money in the Bank.
My God.
Miz wins Money in the Bank. Nakamura beats AJ. Daniel Bryan beats Nakamura. Miz cashes in on Daniel Bryan, building up for Mania.
I'd kill for that exact sequence. Oh man.
And here we are today. Who would have thought?
Man, you see how he just brought up that scenario?
But yeah, because I always think about the whole Tommy Dreamer Raven from ECW, where like Dreamer never beat Raven until the end.
Yes.
And it just made that win so much more memorable and so much more emotional. Even though yes, he beat Miz back in the day, but this is like two completely different people. They've totally evolved. So now that you have essentially Bryan, who is Daniel Bryan, one of the best wrestlers on the planet, that can't beat Miz in a wrestling match.
Right.
It's gonna make. I mean, I love Miz overall, but like it's gonna make me want to see Bryan just to win that much more. And the fact that like you're gonna dangle that carrot and take it away, like I don't know. I just think that's. I hope that Miz keeps beating Daniel Bryan.
Well, speaking to surprise teams and partners and things of that such, Dolph Ziggler is now partnering up with Drew McIntyre against Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, who's finally back. What did you guys think overall of this match?
Man, I'm all about this. These guys, listen. I don't know what the hell this is, man. But Drew, but it's amazing. Like Drew McIntyre is obviously like, I don't want them to lose those titles. I don't know if ever is a time, but can like never ever lose those titles. And because like Ziggler, to me, he wasn't that, because he's in in limbo, like wrestling limbo. He was just not in the title picture. Got the IC title for a little bit, lost it. But I like this. Do you think this is like a throw it together tag team, or do you think or you just like let's give Drew McIntyre something to do?
I mean,
but it's working out. Like
it's working out, yeah. Because I mean, you saw like kind of Drew McIntyre just randomly show up for that. Was it the Superstar Shakedown and just kind of like, all right, or whatever, let's put them together. But it kind of fits, it just kind of fits together. I remember back in the day, you had like Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre as a tag team partners back in the day, and I was like, I mean, it was whatever,
But to your point though, like that shot, I don't know who came up with that idea. That shot of him carrying Ziggler out, that was my favorite part the whole night, because he's like this big goon, man. But he's a great wrestler, and he's like this goon. And he's just like, and like Ziggler's just selling. He's like dead, and then like Ziggler, he has the belts, and he's fireman's carrying him out like he's a piece of paper, and he like turns, looks back. I'm like, oh man, those guys are built for this.
But
man.
I love the fact that Ambrose and Rollins kind of picked up where they left off, even though they're big single stars. Because last year, those matches against The Bar, like, did you go to No Mercy last year?
No, I missed No Mercy.
Man, the matches against The Bar were like insane. And so the fact that we can see that not just with The Bar, but now we're going to see them with Ziggler and McIntyre, like, man, like I can watch those two guys wrestle.
Was that your favorite match of the night, or you think that was the best match of the night? Or?
Oh, this one or the women's match?
Yeah, those were my top two.
Honestly, if you make me choose, I'd go with the tag match. I'd go with the Raw tag
really
match.
Good
nice.
match.
Yeah.
Well, I really liked the ending to this when Rollins was attempting his superplex Falcon's arrow combination on Ziggler. And then McIntyre, who definitely was a ride or die tonight, interrupted and nailed Rollins in the face with Claymore as he was lifting Ziggler in the air for the second half of the combo. So I loved it. Great job. Great way to end and win the match. And then, to what we talked about before, Drew McIntyre left the ring with Ziggler over his shoulders and carried his teammate out. So that's the only way to find a good partner, really, when they're
any one of those guys
there for you like that. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious if they're gonna do the whole like champion versus champion again at Survivor Series, because I wouldn't mind seeing like Ziggler and McIntyre against like New Day.
Be awesome. They always gonna put together a good match. So like, why not?
Yeah.
But exactly, we'd have to wait for a shakeup for that because they're on different rosters. So I don't know how soon it's gonna happen.
I mean, Survivor Series, champion versus champion.
Do a little. Yeah. I like that idea.
Yeah, possibly.
Or
we can always hope.
If they keep it how it is now, Seth Rollins versus Nakamura, IC champ versus US champ.
We can do that. We can do that. Stop booking these matches, George. They don't do these matches.
I know they got 2 pay-per-views before that, but man, Like, I hope they both keep their championships in.
George get my hopes all up, booking matches.
Dude, Rollins Nakamura.
Oh my god.
Damn, dude.
So good.
Well, Nakamura, anything is good,
better
but
believe
just saying, knock America. You guys, I don't know how I feel about this next match we're about to talk about, but Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton, there were times where I was so into it, there were times where I was about to puke, and there were times where I was just like, what's going to happen next? So, George, what did you think overall
I
about
mean, I
this?
don't have like earrings, but like, does that hurt?
Like,
Does that hurt?
Like the gauges, it has to.
I mean, oh man, like
I got these little
I think
tiny
he still
baby
felt
studs.
and not even that, but when he like got the screw and he kept twisting it, like that's the visual that I have for this match right now. Like it just like it makes me squirm, but like that's like essentially what you want as a wrestler is to get emotion out of the audience,
Yes.
right? And it's like it got me, you know. And I think this match was. I think this match was awesome as well. I think this was much better than the main event Hell in a Cell match. Like this match was brutal, like brutal the same way that like New Day Usos was last year. Remember?
That match was nasty.
Yeah, that match was nuts. So I think this match itself was like this match lived up to the Hell in a Cell like actual match itself.
Oh, yeah.
Bosa said the match they give him 25 minutes to open too. Like that's a nice chunk of change. Like I said, these are two legends, two Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers. It's just good to see them go to work. Like it's kind of one of those matches. Like how did this come together? But they tore it down. Jeff does what he always does, man. You know, he puts his body, he puts his life on the line for the fans and the crowd. You know, and you see Randy doing what Randy does.
You know what's crazy? I always think about too, where it's like you have Matt Hardy. I don't know if he's retiring or not. You know, we've seen a lot of tweets and YouTube videos
Pretty
about
sure
he's
he's
hanging it
done.
up.
I'm pretty sure he's done.
And the big rumors like he's kind of injuries catching up and whatnot.
Like a really bad
Shouldn't
one.
it be the other way around? Shouldn't it be Jeff Hardy that hangs it up? Like
crazy?
after everything that he's done, and Matt always kind of played it a little bit more safe than Jeff, but Jeff is the one that's still doing all these things. It's like I think that's so
Well,
crazy.
That's how it works, though. The people that really give their all
It's
and
so true.
push and have ambition like that, they're the ones who stick
Like
it out
I don't
to the
think
end.
Jeff's ever got hurt in wrestling. He always gets hurt like outside wrestling, like
if he
in a
has, I
motocross
wouldn't have-
bicycle accident, you know.
If he
But
has.
I heard he never got hurt in wrestling.
Well, he
beast,
must have got hurt tonight because there was a lot of blood.
Good lord.
But man,
A
like
lot of
that,
blood.
like the oh man, the ear thing.
His ears must just be
Yeah.
because I got little baby studs in my ear and I'm like that hurts.
I don't know. And then they just had, like, Orton was bleeding. There was a chunk of his leg that was, skin was just hanging.
You saw the picture?
I didn't see a picture, but while it was playing, I noticed it. While the match was playing out, you
True
saw a
match.
picture.
There was a picture where he put a picture of like something, and like they took something out of his
It's a true
leg.
Hell in a
Oh,
Cell
something got
match though.
stuck in his leg.
Or I think it was his something that came out of him.
I'm sorry, what?
I mean, you'd have to look up the picture.
Look
I
up
mean,
the
maybe I don't know.
Something came out of him and they put it back in.
No, I don't know if they put. I don't even know what it was, but I mean. I'm
Probably
sure
some skin and
people
blood.
listening that are probably can
both
find
of
it.
them.
I know we have some
Guaranteed.
videos, but let me try to find it while you guys talk.
Yeah, this was gory nonetheless, but I definitely agree with George. This match was what lived up to what Hell in a Cell
Yeah, the
truly
true
means.
Hell in a Cell, yeah.
Yeah, and without the
I'm
that
trying to
is
picture of
nasty.
Gabby. So look, what is it on the right?
Oh,
It looks like a worm.
It looks like a little seahorse.
Good
They pulled out a
Lord.
seahorse out of his
That
leg.
is like worse than the earlobe thing.
That's,
guys-
that was Randy Orton.
That's
Dang.
on Randy Orton's Instagram. So if you're interested in the picture, it's at Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Make sure you check it out
Shout out
if
to your
you're
boy.
interested in the goriness.
But man,
True
like
Hell in a Cell
like
match,
the
though.
I thought he was gonna like rip his earlobe.
I don't even know how.
I thought that was like the thing.
Yeah, I almost wonder, like, what exactly are they telling each other before a match? Like, what is okay? What are they allowing them to do to each other?
And Jeff's one of those guys, man. Let's burn it down.
Yeah.
Let's just do what we got to do. That's
This
Jeff,
reminded
man.
me of like ECW.
All day, and
This match.
I'm glad because every now and again the fans need to get that little taste back, a little attitude era action, you know, a little ECW. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I know WWE wants to shift away and get sweet and cute, but this right here, fans are like, get that nostalgic feeling. All right, a little bit of a slobber knocker, brother, so to speak. You know,
Did you guys feel that this match even needed a cell?
I mean, like I said, I don't think the build-up itself needed the cell, just
No.
because it's like it was kind of their first major matchup on a pay-per-view. You know, I don't think that belongs in a cell for their first match. But I think the fact
Lived
that
up?
yeah, like I think it definitely lived up to the hype. It definitely like I know maybe it was more so because Jeff been saying a lot he wants to be in a cell match. He's never been in a Hell in a Cell after everything else that he's done.
Crazy.
So I think it was more so maybe that. But again, I thought the match itself definitely like you said, lived up to the hype.
agreed.
Yeah, I don't even think like they really utilized the cell at all, but the intensity factor
And the brutality, yeah.
and the brutality
Yeah.
made it a Hell in a Cell. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you guys for making my pay-per-view moment.
And that swing, like, he's going to do something.
I was like, Jeff, what you doing, Jeff?
Yeah.
It's like with regular television, like, people love drama and craziness, and that's why reality TV does so well. Well, this is why I like this match, because although, I loved it and there were gory moments and some squirmy parts, even though you want to look away, you're still interested because you want to find out what happened next.
It was like, and it's one of these where it's like, oh my God, I can't look.
Seriously.
You're still like keeping your eye
that's
open.
exactly what I'm like.
Between your eyes.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah.
So it was a good match. I liked it. Last up, we had the pre-show that we're going to talk about, the New Day versus Rusev Day. And for me, it was a disappointment. Even though I love the New Day, I think it was Rusev's day time to shine. And unfortunately, they lost yet again.
Always losing.
George, what did you think about the loss?
I thought it was a good match. But honestly, I think Rusev should shine as a singles guy. And I'm not really that big a fan of Aiden English. I don't know why. But, so I was okay with them losing.
Match was good, though.
Match was good. I'd rather see Rusev shine on his own. So I'm okay with Rusev Day not being champions.
A more serious question, Gabby. How did you feel like not seeing Kevin Owens?
Oh my God! I thought for sure he was gonna come out, especially during Braun's
Is
match
your heart
or
hurt?
something.
Is your heart aching?
Well, maybe my baby needed his time off. Take a little rest before Monday.
Good match all in all, though. I guess this New Day, they're putting, like I said, they've really re-solidified the tag team divisions over these past couple years. And Rusev, man, should he be in singles competition? Probably.
I think so.
I think it's running its course there. Stop trying to hide him in this tag team nonsense. He's well overdue. I don't know who he should go against. It don't matter. Just give him some hardware.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with that because he was a singles player first, and he wasn't doing well. He even went up against Randy Orton, and
He's
didn't turn out for him.
But people improve, people change, people grow.
But
They
and his
improved, but
thing
he's
with,
had his time.
and his thing with Randy Orton was like 2 years ago.
It's so true.
Like he's
Was it
he's
really?
Totally,
I feel like it was a year ago, year and a half.
But he's evolved since then. Like he's got the whole Rusev Day coming up, and he's back with Lana. Like people seem to be
Right,
liking
which is
Lana.
why he should stay in the tag
But he's
team.
like fitter somehow. He's like leaner, stronger,
and also
faster.
too, and people that watch Total Divas, Rusev is hilarious.
Oh yeah, they all are.
He is so funny. Like I don't know why they never went back to like the handsome Rusev.
He's funny,
Like
man.
that whole thing had me rolling, and I still watch it to this day because I think it was so funny.
So good.
Yeah.
But I think if they let him be a little bit more of him, and I think he can be a huge star.
I think it would be nice to also see Rusev and Lana maybe do a match with maybe Brie and Daniel or even Maurice
why not?
and Miz because they're also two really big stars in WWE that are on Total Bellas.
Why not?
So get them involved. Why aren't they doing more? Yeah, I don't know. I really liked it, but I also was disappointed. I love the New Day. They're fantastic wrestlers, fantastic personalities. They really complement each other.
I hated that promo though. I hated that thing. the back locker room.
Oh, the booty worst
It just went too long though. It just went too long.
Oh, after the post one.
Yeah, when the guy with the pancakes thing, and it's too long.
Yeah.
It's because they try to incorporate different things, like the host character that Kofi plays.
Oh yeah. I just
Yeah, they had a lot going on in the backstage segment, but ultimately, the New Day is a really good tag team. They shine better together, in my opinion. And then Rusev Day does well, and the fans love them. So I don't know why they're not winning. So maybe, just maybe, at Australia, we'll see a difference.
W. You might be right.
I hope so.
What are they doing in Australia? Because they already announced the New Day is going to face the Bar.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a great question. What are they doing? We have a few weeks to figure it out.
They'll be doing something. They'll be doing something in some capacity, unless they give Rusev singles.
Hey, can I say real
competition.
quick how crazy it is that there's 6 stadium shows in the span of a year. They got Mania, Saudi Arabia, another rumor, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
They got the Royal Rumble in Arizona Stadium, the Australia show, and then
That is
Mania.
pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
But the Saudi Arabia one may not be
They'll tell
televised.
it. Why wouldn't they?
They will.
because it's a lot. It's excessive.
It's not. They're not paying for it.
I mean, that's a lot of storylines you
Yeah, them
guys
Saudi
have to work
princes
for.
are like, yeah, how much you need? But
We'll do anything.
so
Can I say
true,
something
though.
else too?
What?
I know. But it's so crazy to me. There's a lot of people that weren't even Bobby Lashley. 2 months ago, he beat Roman Reigns on pay-per-view. Now he hasn't even been on the last 2 pay-per-views.
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
think there's a lot of people that aren't getting utilized. I mean, even Almas and Zelina, where are they? They're great.
doing my best almost impression. I don't know if it's working or not.
Andrade.
There's a lot of WWE superstars that I would like to see more of, but I think maybe it's just not their time right now because they're not.
There are just too many people on the roster.
Yes, it's too many people,
Like,
too many stories.
And then like I don't know, like I mean I read that, I go on the internet a lot to like see what's going on, but like I feel like every 2 days it's like, oh, WWE's interested in signing this person. It's like, dude, how do they have room to sign all these new people?
true.
Bank account is endless, man. Jeez and crackers.
And I mean, at SummerSlam, they just signed a new person, right?
Like Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
And it was like rumors they're gonna
Riddle.
sign like Pentagon and Phoenix.
They're like
and,
6
yeah,
females
it's
looking to sign with WWE. I go,
And then
wait,
how
what?
many of the girls from May and Clock they're gonna sign?
At least 3.
Yeah.
At least 3.
There's going to be a few, I'm sure.
But anyways,
It's craziness.
yeah.
Well, anyways, what did you guys think overall? Any last thoughts of the pay-per-view for Hell in a Cell?
I mean, I think there were 3 really, really, really good matches. You know, the Jeff Hardy Orton, the women's match, and the tag match. I think, like I said, I really liked the pay per view. I thought it was good. Again, just taking away my feelings toward the actual pay per view itself and why it needs to be there. I liked it better when it was meant something.
Yes.
I'd give it better. Like you said, not the best. Doesn't mean it's not great.
What's a letter grade? Give me a letter grade, Georgie.
B.
Oh, that's not bad. That's pretty high grade.
That's like middle area.
I'll take a B. Yeah, it was about a B minus for me. It was fun. You know what I mean? 3 great matches. What can you say? Like I said, the tag match was awesome. The ladies burning it down. So I'm always a fan of that. It's a good pay-per-view. Listen, I'm a WWE. I'm a wrestling guy. I'm watching. You know what I'm watching? Something to do on Sunday. I was watching. You're a wrestling fan when football's over here and then WWE's right here, and you're like looking like this. You know what I mean? So it was fun to watch. George, before we get out of here, where do you rank New Day in tag team lore?
Of all time? Mm-hmm. Wow. We got another hour.
Yeah, it sounds like a loaded question.
Top 5, top 3, top 10.
Jesus, see, you should have asked me that in the beginning.
I know, but
just so I have time to think about it in the back of my mind as you're talking.
Right now,
Because like I think Steiner Brothers are up there. I think Road Warriors are actually overrated. I think Dudley Boys are up
man,
there.
the chat roll probably gonna light your ass up.
I think Steiners and Dudleys. If I really thought about it, it's really easy to say like top 7. That doesn't mean they're 7th, but like it's really easy.
That's amazing.
But I think that's easy to classify just because like of their success in the last 4 years, like especially today, because obviously people want to compare 80s tag teams and 90s tag teams, but it's like in the fast forward era that we live today, where like nothing lasts forever. The fact that New Day has been on top for like pretty much 4 years,
pretty impressive.
Like that's insane. You know, you look at like what's like another great tag team like
Hardy Boys.
Yeah,
Usos.
like you look at the Hardy Boys. Like they started in what, 99. They weren't together for 4 years.
Wow.
Usos, but they're twins though. But like that's true.
So.
Like I said, I mean, I rank the Dudley Boys up there.
But the
like,
Hardy Boys are they technically brothers in real life or what? Yeah, so
That's
twins
gonna
and
get a lot of
brothers.
thing
Like,
in
come
China.
on.
But I mean, like, I feel like with Jeff, Matt, they're so distinct with their personality that like it was easy for them to break apart. Like, it's almost as if like the Usos, it's kind of like a double-edged sword where like you can be the best tag team in the world, but like if they ever want to break into singles, like it might not work out that well,
I just want to throw that out there, see what you think.
Yeah, but I think New Day is up there. I mean,
7.
especially, and I was thinking about it today. I think Kofi as a tag team wrestler maybe even better than like let's say like Billy Gunn, because Billy Gunn's one of the best tag team wrestlers of all time.
Ever.
I think Kofi's like maybe number 2 or number 3.
Yo, chat roll, what's up? What y'all think New Day's at in the top of all-time tag teams, man? Y'all just
Because I got
Rank it.
Steiner again. I'm gonna get so much heat for this.
You're gonna heat what?
I think LOD's overrated. I think LOD's way overrated.
I mean, listen, you're allowed to have your opinion, but in the end,
dangerous.
New Day is amazing, and they definitely deserve to be in the top, at least 10.
Well, George is dangerous.
This was overall a good pay-per-view for Hell in a Cell. I give it a B also, so I agree with both of you guys. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next in storyline for Australia and then Women's Evolution, that pay-per-view. So hopefully we'll be around for that. Do you guys want to let us know where we can follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Hermoza, GHARMOZA. September 27th, you can come out to the Moose Lodge in Burbank, California. You both are invited.
Ooh.
I will be wrestling for Wrestling Pro Wrestling.
Oh, I'll be there.
Awesome.
Yeah, Thursday at 8:30. The show starts at 8:30, but I think my match is like
I'm
at
off
9:30.
Thursday. It's meant to be. Evan T. Mack, Instagram and Twitter. Gabby, put yourself over. Brother.
Thanks, Evan. Sister, you mean?
Sister.
Huh?
Put yourself over, sister.
So you guys can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Gabby Loren TV. And I'm also hosting an AfterBuzz for SmackDown on Tuesday nights. We usually start around 9:15 PST. Check it out. And also, Women of Wrestling, they are shooting their live show alongside Comic-Con October 10th and 11th, and you can get those tickets on Ticketmaster.com. Thank you guys so much for joining us to break down Hell in a Cell tonight. We will see you next time at the next WWE event.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.